Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny. I'm from Jenny Card Designs, and today I'm going to be showcasing some Anna Griffin products, as well as a few tips and tricks to create your own envelope for specialty size cards, as well as a professional look to the completion of your card. So I'll start off by making the card, and then I will show you how I create these beautiful labels for the back of your card, and then the envelope and how I do that as well. So sit back and relax, grab a cup of tea, and enjoy the show. So let's get started with the card. So I have a few products here. These are all from Anna Griffin, the card topper set, the cardstock, and the embossing folder. So starting with the card topper set, these are the botanical card toppers, and I'm going to be using one of the vellum layers and one of the sentiments. Then next up, I'm going to use the Anna Griffin Cuttlebug folder, and this is the Baroque vine frame. It's very ornate detail. Then I've got a solid cord cardstock. This is kind of like a goldish green sort of color from Anna Griffin, and I also have the metallic layers, and this is 5x7. I have some adhesive, my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and a bone folder. So I'll just go ahead and use my bone folder to give it a nice sharp crease. And then I'm going to cut a mat to go inside out of some ivory cardstock that I have in my stash. And the mat is 5x7. So I'm just going to stick that there for now. We're going to work on, oh no, here's the vellum layer that I'm going to use for this card. And the sentiment, the garden suggests there might be a place where we can meet nature halfway. It's a very beautiful quote. So I'm going to move everything out of the way here, and I'm going to pull in my Gemini to do some embossing. So I have a Gemini Junior die cutting machine. I will get my embossing folder here and get this metallic layer lined up nice and straight inside. I'll just use the pattern to determine whether it's straight. And then I'll get my sandwich ready and run this through my die cutting machine. You just have to figure out the sandwich for the embossing folder that suits your machine. In this case, I use 2 plates and a metal shim. And we're all set, good to go. Move all that out of the way. We have a beautiful embossed layer with lovely detail. Okay, we're going to pull in the other elements here. Just figuring out my placement. I have my card base here. We'll start by adhering the layer on the inside. I'm just going to leave this card blank so any personal message can be written inside. And I'm going to use just a little bit of Nuvo Deluxe adhesive around the outside edge and a little bit. You don't need very much of the stuff. A little bit goes a long way. And get it layered up inside. Perfect. And then I will run my bone folder over the spine of this card one more time to ensure we have a nice crisp sharp edge. And then turn my attention over to the front of the card. We'll use the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive again on the back of the metallic layer and get that positioned in the center of this card. Lovely. Okay. And then I'm going to position my vellum layer in the center. I thought about adhering that first, and I thought, you know, I better wait. I'll layer on the greeting so that I can make sure that my adhesive is hidden behind the greeting so that you don't see that through the layer. So I'll just pop on some foam squares here, and I'll peel the release paper off the back of these. I always check to make sure that I've pulled the release paper off of all of it because sometimes I forget. Then I will get this centered up in the middle of that vellum layer. Perfect. And then I can flip this over and use my strong double-sided tape just to adhere the vellum layer to the card base, and I'm keeping that behind the front sentiment. Perfect. And I use a craft knife here to help me slip off the release paper off the back of this adhesive, because it's fairly strong and I don't want to rip the vellum, so I want to make sure that I get this peeled up nice and easy. And then I'm going to use the pattern on the back of this embossed piece to ensure that I have it even on the top and the bottom. So I'll just use the little ornate designs to help see that I've got the same amount of pattern on both sides. And perfect. And press that into place. And that's it for this card. So that should do. I don't think it needs anything else. It's so gorgeous and shimmery. It's got that gold detail and the metallic layer. I don't think it needs anything else for the front of this card. It's perfect just as is. So to finish off this card, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add my handmade label to the back of it. Now I have these labels printed off. It says handmade by Jenny Card Designs, has my Gmail address, and just a little note that this is handmade with Anna Griffin products. So and I think it just gives it that perfect finishing touch. It makes it look a little bit more professional, and I really, really love the way it turns out. So next up, I'm going to show you how to make those labels. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I create the labels. The website is avery.ca, design and print online, and we'll select the address labels, and this is the 30 per sheet. And there's many different designs to choose from, lots of different seasons and holidays, but for this particular design I chose this flower arrangement. And so it gives you options to input your information. You can change it up, you can change the font, the size, the placement. So I'll just go ahead and type in my information there, and this is my Jenny Card Designs, the name of my business, my email address, and that this is handmade using Anna Griffin products. There's helpful tools when you want to move the lettering around so that everything's positioned straight and even. There's a little guide that shows up to show you that you have it in the right spot. And once I'm happy with the placement of everything, I will click on print and preview. And then print now. You have an option to save it if you like. You download the PDF and then just open, and then you can go ahead and print. By creating an Avery account online, you have the option to save all of your projects so that you can go back and reprint them later on, which is really super helpful when you're mass producing. So these labels cost me $1 from the dollar store. There are 10 sheets in the package, which means you get 300 labels for $1, and you can print them off and customize them, and it adds the perfect professional look to the back of your card. So this is the envelope generator app on my Android smartphone. I'm going to punch in the card width. I'm going to go ahead and measure the card, and it measures 5¼ inches. So I will put that measurement in, 5¼ and then I'll go ahead and measure the height of the card, and it measures 7¼ and I'll input that into the app as well, and it's going to generate me a number. The first measurement will be the size of the paper in square, so 10¼ inches by 10¼ inches. And the second measurement will be the punch guide, and I'll show you that when we get to it. Okay, so I'm going to use my Anna Griffin solid core cardstock, the same one that I used to create my card base. Now this comes in large 12 by 24 inch sheets, and I cut my card base out of it. And now I'm going to cut out the 10 and an eighth of an inch square out of the rest of this and save the leftover pieces. So get that trimmed down. So that was the first measurement. That's 10 and 1/8 by 10 and 1/8. And now the next measurement is for the punch mark on the punch board. So we'll get the 1-3 punch board opened up, and there's a little arm that swings down for scoring. So we'll swing the arm down and we'll pull out the little score tool that's inside of it and get the cardstock lined up at 5 3/4 of an inch. So I'll just zoom in here so that you can see that. So 5 3/4 of an inch, and then hold it in place and punch. And then you slip your little tool into the first notch there, and you'll feel it slide into the score mark. So we'll get that scored nice and good, and then we'll turn it around and we're going to line it up into that little line there. You'll feel it slip into place, and then we'll go ahead and punch and score again, and making sure we get a nice good score without splitting the paper. You don't want to press too hard because you can definitely crack the paper. So we'll turn it again, slide it into that little groove. You'll feel it slip right in, and punch and score again. I wasn't sure if I punched it, so I did it again just to make sure. Go ahead and score one more time, making sure a nice good score, punch. And then in the top of this punch board, there's a little corner rounder. So I'll just close all this up and put it away and slip my cardstock into the corner, round out all of the corners for this envelope. I think it just makes it look prettier. I like the rounded corners. Okay, so I'm going to flip this envelope over and use my bone folder and score all of the sides, giving them a nice good crease. And then I'll pull out my score tape, and this is nice strong tape to hold the envelope together, and I'll slip a piece on the edge of the side flaps, and I'll use my craft knife to remove the release paper to make sure I don't rip anything. And then press the bottom flap into place, and then just use my bone folder to press everything into place. And then I'm also going to take some more score tape and I'm going to line the flap of the closing part. I'm not going to remove this. I'll leave this for later on when I fill out the card and mail it. And then just use my bone folder to do the last score on the top, and then we'll call this envelope done. So here's my finished card with its matching envelope, and just show you how it slips into the envelope perfectly and matches perfectly. And I really, really love this card. I love its elegance and shimmer, and it's absolutely beautiful. I hope that I've given you some inspiration for the botanical card kit and some of your Anna Griffin supplies, and some really neat tips and tricks for creating envelopes and turning your card into a professional looking project in the end. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I really appreciate all of the support, the likes, the subscribes, the thumbs up, and all those wonderful things. You can check out my social media here. Links will be in the description below. Please note that my videos are not sponsored by anyone in any way, shape, or form. I do not benefit monetarily from any of the products showcased here today. Everything here I've purchased with my own money or happened to win in a giveaway randomly. I showcase these products because I love them and I enjoy spending time sharing my projects with you. So again, you can click the notification bell to be notified of any new uploads. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful day.